Okay, so the question from the client on this hinge is, and I'm reading it, Hager 1752 spring hinge. I don't have a 1752, I have a 1754. Same hinge, it just has different radius corners. It's square by 5/8. How do I remove the pin once I installed it in order to readjust the tension? My initial reaction was he's talking about a hinge pin that goes in here. Well, you never remove this hinge pin, but I believe now, after I've had a second to think about it, the client's referring to the tension pin, which is the tiny little pin that's going to be installed, that goes into the tension collar here. Okay, so how do you remove it? Well, there's no Allen wrench. Let's go get an Allen wrench. I'll take you for a tour through the shop as well. Well, part of this shop. It'll get dark over here. We need my SAE, my Imperial set of Allen wrenches. And there is a small trick with this, and I'm sure I've made videos on this in the past. All right, so right now there's no tension on the spring hinge, and we know that because we can freely move it. Okay. When the tension collar is pointed towards the top, there's the tension collar with the holes. The holes show you which end has the tension collar. This end doesn't. 1/8 inch maybe? 5/32. That makes more sense. Yeah, 5/32. So you can see when I rotate that, okay, I'm going to rotate it just a little bit in order to sneak that tension pin in. I got to rotate it in order to get the pin stuck in there. Okay, I know my hand was in the way, but now it's stuck. It's in there. Now I may be able to, yeah, I can pull it apart a little bit because I only went to one hole of tension. Okay, so we wind that up and snap it, it's happening. Now the client's probably saying, how do I get that out? Because it's under tension. If you try to put a plier on the end of that and pull it out, you're probably not going to do a really good job. So here's the trick. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now let's get back to it. Okay, trick. Dramatic pause and probably an inserted commercial there. You got to take a 5/32 Allen wrench and you got to turn it ever so slightly in order to be able to pull that out. So let's just prove it. I'm holding it on its side. So right now I can't pull it out. That's going to be impossible. I put that 5/32 and I rotate it ever so slightly. I can then easily pull it out. I'm going to do it from here. Can't pull it out. Rotate this a little bit. You can see the pin move. Easily pull it out. It'll now rotate. Take the Allen wrench out. Now there's no tension. So the trick is give it a little bit of bias, crank it a little bit. 5/32 is what the Allen wrench is. Get the right one, otherwise you're going to strip. You'll strip that, and then you'll not ever be able to adjust it. Let's tell you some more about spring hinges for a minute. Now, spring hinges are never installed in the top location unless you are doing all spring hinges and the middle and the bottom already have spring hinges. If your installation has 2 spring hinges and your door requires 3 hinges, spring hinges go middle and bottom. That top hinge needs to be a compatible, most definitely, preferably ball bearing hinge. Why? The top hinge does the majority of work on the opening. That top hinge carries 70% of the weight of the door. The top hinge will always be the one that wears first. If you notice hinges, there's this restaurant in Des Plaines, Illinois, or maybe Mount Prospect, called Salerno's. And they opened up 15 years ago, and they were instantly popular. And they stayed instantly popular. I don't know if they're still there today, but very good Italian food, very good pizza, the whole 9 yards. Small place, always crowded. The men's room there had plain bearing hinges on it. And after about 5 years of use, that top hinge was incredibly worn between the knuckles of the hinge leaf. It's like this would be the knuckle. The gap here was incredible. And what was neat about it is the middle hinge had wear, but not so bad. The bottom hinge had wear, but kind of getting hard to tell. And then what happens is the door seems to start to hang over like this, and you don't want that at all. So spring hinges never go at the top. Unless you're doing all spring hinges, then you'll have one at the top. If this client, when he gets this video, if you have spring hinges top and bottom, move that top spring hinge out of there. Get it to the middle location, or maybe swap it. The bottom one is not doing a lot of work. Maybe promote that up higher on the hinge prep situation. Do not over tension the hinges. If you're going to 180 degrees or past 90, keep to 3 holes. If you're only going to 90, you might be able to get to 4 holes, but do not make it any tighter than necessary. And if you hear a large snapping sound, don't wonder what happened. The spring hinge is broken. Don't over tension these whatsoever, because they're a hassle to get your hands on in terms of cost of shipping, blah, blah, blah. I hope that helped. If you have any questions on Hager spring hinges or any other Hager product, a company in business since the Civil War era, and I think right now they're in 7 generations of Hager. My family's been selling Hager since the 1970s. They've been in business for 100 years before that point. And in our website, if you type in Hager and get to the manufacturer's page, I have a feeling that I've got a Hager catalog scanned and uploaded there from 1905. So that's kind of neat if you want to hop in your time machine, hop in your Doctor Who TARDIS, and go somewhere else in time. Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up. Please subscribe and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.